Clamantis. A Clamantis is a delicacy. I ain't had one in a number of years. But what you do is you take a clam, a clam, and you put it in a box with a mantis. Now, eventually what's going to happen is that mantis going to get desperate. And if I'm honest with you, the clam going to get desperate too. And they going to try to mate, okay? The clam going to take its weird tongue foot, and it's going to move over to the mantis. And the mantis ain't going to know what to think about it. Because mantises is normally the aggressive ones. But not in this instance. In this instance, it's the clam. And you wouldn't think that the clam would be so aggressive. Because all he is a shell and some meat and his weird foot, tongue. But he gonna move over there and he gonna start chatting up the clam mantis. Chatting up the mantis. And by chatting up, I mean he's gonna just kind of try to flop on top of it. But the mantis ain't having none of that. Because a mantis, while a proud beast and real aggressive, and he's got these things, and sometimes they clack, and they got pincers too, just like that, right? But the mantis, normally a proud beast, knows he fragile. Because you got to get a clam at least 2 to 3 sizes more than the mantis. And the mantis going to dodge around. And the clam going to tongue himself right around the box quite a little bit. And then what's going to happen is the clam is going to stop. And the mantis is going to sit on the other side of the box. And they're going to look at each other. And they're going to share a moment. This part is critical to producing a Clamantis, or a field of Clamanta, as it were. They gotta look at each other, eyes meet, share a moment, and then they come to an understanding. And this real hard. You're gonna have a lot of failures before this happened. The clam got to learn to respect the mantis, and the mantis got to learn to fall in love with the clam. And if the stars align, you know what happened next. You open that box 6-7 months later, you're going to find not a house necessarily, but a home. You got the clam, you got the mantis, and you got 30 or 40 of these little clamanti just running around having a good time. What do you do at that point? Eat them up. Eat them all up. Start with the clam, eat the children, finish with the mantis. Good aperitif, good for digestion. If you ain't had a Clamantis, I can't help but highly recommend it. Did I ever tell you about the time I lived in an abandoned mansion with Bob Dole? I saw his penis more than he did.